Okay, now let's say I want to set up an alert that is looking at aggregations, and where the alerts come from is, we showed you the live alerts, which is more the monitoring, but you can also do real scheduled analytics or scheduled reporting. Okay, so from this standpoint, if I just want to know something simple like total validator rewards by party today. Okay, so pretty straightforward, simple question. Ask it, returns information from here. I can sort it. I can, do whatever I want to from that standpoint. If I end up creating a custom column out of the information, I can set the exact same. The mechanics to set the alert up are identical, but I'm just going to show you what you can do from this standpoint. So here, if I just want to know out of these parties, which one is having, the ones who are having large increases. And I just want to check, it doesn't have to be monitoring it. I just want to check at a certain period of point or a certain point in time every single day. Okay, so as you've seen before, it's showing, okay, so it's a total validator reward. I can pick a number from that standpoint, but it's really hard to pick a number because these are very relative to each of the own validator parties. So what I can actually do is I want to do the result of the query. So, this is total validator rewards by party today. And then all I can do is switch this one to yesterday. Really, really, really simple. So just looking at the end of the day, what the rewards were today, and then the ones here. And then I can set a threshold. Let's say I'm interested in the growing ones. And I'm just going to put an arbitrary, percent number in there. Let's say it's, I don't know, let's just say 5% higher on a day-to-day, which would be quite a bit, but let's just assume that for the example here. Also shows you how these two data queries are going to be joined as well, which is pretty straightforward. I move on from that standpoint, and then I can pick a time as well. So if we're kind of going for that end of day, UTC time, then we probably want to, take a look at 5 p.m. maybe. I guess 6 p.m. is an example here. So anyway, you just pick. It'll look every day or whatever frequency you want. You just want to make sure that the frequency you're picking here actually matches the query, right? So I'm looking from today to yesterday, so I of course want that report run every day, but you can do this weekly as well, and then move forward and you do the same type of thing. So validator increases. Those come rewards increases. I can put 5% there as an example. Okay, and then I have that, and again I can put a message in if I want to and do that. So now I save this. Okay, and I'm going to show you something that's interesting. Maybe I didn't want to put a big list of the validators that I care about, but I'm interested in, I want to get these validators down a little bit. So that's where this comes in. You can actually create filtered custom alerts as well. So these ones here are the main organizational alerts that you have the ability to subscribe to here. Okay, now these are more looking at bandwidth activity. There's going to be a whole bunch more added over the next few days. But you actually have the ability to take those and do the same thing on the organizational alerts as I'm going to do here. So what I can do is it'll open this up. And then what you're going to see here is, of course, it'll show the the underlying information that's important here. Okay, so it's showing what the data result would return here and here. But what I can do is the ones that I care about. So let's say Chatham main 1 is an example. Oops, Chatham main 1. So I can pick this party, and then I could also put in Chatham main 2 as well. And I can pick that party. So then what happens in this particular case is, and I can see okay, so now what happens here is now I've created this kind of a special alert based upon that, and it's going to go through all of this data. So all of the ones that trigger that meet this criteria, except it's going to filter down the ones just for me. Because part of the, the main part when you got lots of data is to make sure you get to the signal and the noise. And so this is the signal that I'm actually interested in. So I am only going to be alerted if each of these validator nodes ends up breaching the particular criteria that I set. Okay, and then I finish and save that. And then what you can see here is it's a new one that's listed under composite alerts. Okay, now we'll do another video on composite alerts, but what composite alerts is it allows you to take multiple different alerts and create a composite out of them, which means that if the data is true in this alert and that intersects with a trigger data in another alert, it will notify you just with the particular party ID or particular provider or you name it that actually exists and belongs in both of those queries and is joinable by the same kind of data.